Hello everyone, welcome to Momma Jo's Kitchen. How is everybody doing today? It is a Saturday, I think it's almost afternoon. What time is it, Michael? 11:40. 11:40. I've been busy here in the kitchen and I'm getting ready to fix Michael something to eat. I think this is something that you all may really enjoy. You know, who doesn't like turkey, especially when it comes to close to Thanksgiving and Christmas? But we're going to do something different. This is kind of going to be a Thanksgiving meal in itself. To me, I was telling my husband earlier that I love everything about what we're making today. The only thing I feel like it's missing is mashed potatoes because I'm a mashed potato girl. But you can always serve it on the side if you want it to. What are we making today? I got this inspiration from Firehouse subs place. Have you you might not have a Firehouse sub in your area. We do, and every year they come out with this sub. And let me tell you what I did I think it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday because that was grocery shopping day. The night before, I took a large turkey. It had been thawed in the refrigerator, and I cut it all up, and I put it all in two crock pots, except for the breast. And that's what we're going to be working on today. These are the turkey breast cutlets. The two breasts have been cut down in half, and I have pounded it out to make it nice and thin. So we're going to fry these up for Michael, and we're going to make these turkey subs. So I guess we could call this Thanksgiving turkey sub, because when you see what we're going to put on it, you'll know why it's called a Thanksgiving sub. But yeah, guess how much broth I got out of those two crock pots. I got, let me see, 14, 18. I got 18 cups of broth, and I put them in two cups. I separate them into 2-cup sections and put them in freezer safe containers, and they're in the freezer. So anytime that I need chicken broth, I use the turkey broth in place of the chicken broth. And basically it's bone broth because, you're cooking it with the bones and everything. And then you take all that out and you pick all your meat apart. And I got 4 cups of shredded cooked turkey in the freezer for different recipes. And then this is what's left of the turkey. Okay, here on the stove in my iron skillet, I have about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of oil. And right now it is only, oh, hold on a second. I got it on the wrong setting here. Level, no, that's not what I want. Frying, that's what I was looking for, frying temperature. I think I want 350. I had it on poultry, folks. I didn't want it on poultry. I want it on frying. I have one of those digital Pampered Chef. Let me see. Where do I want to turn that up? Yeah, I'm turning the temperature up to 350. All right, sorry about that. I got distracted. I don't know how that happened. Okay. Well, we're only at 95, 97 degrees. It will not take long to come to temperature. Okay, back here, I've already done it ahead of time. Most of us know how easy it is to do box stuffing. This is box stuffing that's hanging out. This is turkey. You could use whatever kind that you like the best. It's just water and butter, and then you add your mix. And then you let it hang out with the lid on it. And then when you go to use it, you want to fluff it up. Now, I have a sub roll. You might have saw at the beginning of the video. Well, it's not really a sub roll. It's an Italian loaf. Or French bread. You can use a French bread. I think this is a little bit softer. That I have cut in half because I was thought about doing thirds. But my husband's a pretty big eater. So I'm going to do him half. So he has another half. And what I'm going to do, I'm not ready for it right now, is I'm going to just take a little bit of that spread back there and put it over it. And I'll get this nice and toasty when I go to put his turkey sub together. Okay. To make things easier on myself, I bought this about a month ago. I think I was going to use it with some potatoes I had bought at the store, and then I changed my mind. I didn't want it. So it's been sitting up in the cabinet. Now, I thought that Michael would like to have, this is turkey gravy, home-style turkey gravy. I'm going to heat that up in a microwave. I've got it over there in a dish with a glass lid. And then if he wants to dip his sub in that, much like if you would do a juice or something like that, or is it au joie? I might be saying it incorrectly. But also I have turkey broth in there, and Michael was like, that would be good too. But I'm trying to save my turkey broth and use it for other recipes and stuff. And since I had that up there, I'm just going to let him dip his sub if he wants to. You know, because maybe it's a little on dry side, or maybe it just, you know, gives it that extra, I don't think it's going to be dry because it's going to have cheese, it's going to have lettuce, and we're going to put cranberry sauce on there. If you look up Firehouse Sub, you will see what all they put on there. I think they put mayonnaise. Michael does not like mayonnaise, so we're not going to do mayonnaise, folks. All right, so I just want to save that jar to show you. Got the cranberry sauce back there. I've got provolone cheese hanging out, and I have leafy lettuce, and I sent Michael to the store to get the leafy lettuce because I forgot to get it yesterday. I never let a man pick out, well, excuse me, I shouldn't say that. There's probably some men that would do a great job at picking out lettuce. My husband picked probably the worst one. He said they were all like that, but I can't tell you how many I had to throw away. So I've got some lettuce washed and hanging out there to get it good and dry on paper towels. Okay, we're not quite at the temperature yet. Let me tell you about what we're going to do. This is going to be a wet batter. We're going to dip the turkey cutlets in a wet batter, and then I'm going to put it in a dry panko breadcrumb coating, and then we will fry it. I have used this batter for my shrimp, and I used it for the fish sandwich. They are both on my channel if you would like to check them out. It is an excellent batter, and all I've done was season my flour how I think Michael would like it. He wanted a little bit of poultry seasoning, so I put some poultry seasoning, some salt, pepper. I think I did onion powder. I did garlic salt. That's probably about all that I put in there. And so there's just a little bit. I'll leave the recipe or the link to it so that, you know, you all will have it. And everything is, the dry seasoning is here. But what I need to do is take some water. And this is about 3/4 of a cup. And we're going to just get this part mixed up. I have to wait for the stove to get the temperature anyway, so we're not there yet, folks. Probably should have done this in a bowl, but I figured in this little container here, it's kind of flat. It'll be easier for making sure that my I wanted to call it chicken, or turkey pieces get coated really well. Okay, trying to get some of all that dry over here. Oh, make sure whenever you're dealing with chicken or any kind of poultry, turkey, that you know, you keep in mind about cross-contaminating your surfaces. So I have, some of you may know, I always say that I keep a, I might have to add a little bit of water. See, it just depends on how thick it is. I want it a little bit thinner, because see, I added all these dry seasonings, so you got to keep that in mind. I don't want it too soupy, but I don't want it too thick at the same time. Hopefully I can kind of show you all what I'm talking about. See, it's a little bit little bit on the thick side there. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. We don't use our spigot water. We prefer we don't use our spigot water because it's public water and it has like fluoride and different things in it. So we buy our water. So I have a little bit of spring water here. I'm just going to put in a little spring water. Okay, we're at 216, folks. Now, you know, when you go to put your turkey pieces in, especially you don't want to overcrowd your pan. The more you put in, then your temperature will drop. Okay, so I'm just going to work this around. Okay, much better, I can tell. Already from that. It's just that little bit of water. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, they're not going to take long to fry. You know why? Because I have pounded them really thin. I'm not deep frying these, so that's why, you know, I only have that much oil in there. Okay, much better. Let me see if I can show y'all the consistency now. I still got some there in the corners. So there we go. So you don't want it too thin, but you want to be able to coat your turkey and then coat it in the dry breadcrumbs. I'm thinking it's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes per side once we get the oil really hot. And then I'm going to toast Michael's you know, his bread, and then everything's going to be easy to put together. Got some batter stuck there. I think I'll move it over here. I've got a little place to keep my stuff over there. All right, we're at 250. I need to get 350. I have it on a 3. Typically, I put it on a 4, which is a medium high for me. But if I put it on a 4, it gets almost too hot. And then I end up turning it down. So I'm trying it on a 3. I think I'm going to leave it at 3 because we're at 255 right now. And I want it at 350. So I'll bring you right back, because I know you don't want to stand here and just, you know, watch me do a whole lot of nothing at the moment. I'm just going to use my non-stick pan here. Like I said, I'm just going to put a little bit of that spread or butter and get it nice and toasted on this part of the bread. Then I'm going to put lettuce on the bottom, I think. Then I think I'm going to put the turkey cutlet. And then I'm going to put the cheese. Then I'm going to do the stuffing. And then I'm going to do, I might just spread the cranberry sauce. You could put the cranberry sauce right on top, but I think I'm going to spread it kind of like in place of the mayonnaise on Michael's bun, and then put it on top. And then I'm going to take you all over to the table, and Michael's going to give you a taste test. He's the one that benefits from all this, folks, and he works hard. He deserves it. So I cook for him, and he enjoys it. So if that makes him happy, that makes me happy. Because, you know, I used to just cook for my children when they were here, and, of course, and Michael. And now that all the children are grown up and married and moved out of the house, you know, that's why I decided to start this YouTube channel. I thought, well, maybe I can do these videos, and, you know, maybe some people would be interested in these recipes and, you know, enjoy them. And maybe my children and grandchildren can always look back and they'll have something to see of their mother, you know, and maybe there's, you know, they could learn and start cooking themselves. You know, their wives and my daughter's husband, they already do a little bit of cooking and stuff anyway. So, but maybe there's something that, you know, I can pass on that that they'll enjoy. All right, 284. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to get them dipped. Alright folks, that didn't take long. I'm almost not quite there, but I want to get started because by the time I get it dipped and everything, it'll be ready to go in. Get yourself another rack and put a baker's rack or something so that when the turkey comes out, it has a surface so if there's any excess grease or anything, it can hang out there. Okay, I'm kind of running out of room here, so I'm going to put this right here below you in front of the microwave. All right, so you want to use, you know, some different utensils here. So I could do this bigger one here. That would fill us. I've got these little cutlets and I got like 3 bigger ones. But then again, I could do a number of these at the same time. So as you see, I'm just getting them in here. Getting a nice little coating here. Now, see, you want to let some of that excess drip off of there. And I'm going to put it right over here on top of this panko breadcrumbs. Okay, we're at 322 of 350. So I'm going to go ahead and see what happens. I'm going to put this one in. There we go. Okay, I'm going to drip some of that excess off. Shake out my breadcrumbs over here. And try to remember what order, you know, you put them in. Might have to sprinkle a little bit more breadcrumbs on here and there. It's already 361. That's how hot it is. So I'm going to turn it down to a 2. I was looking for my other tongs. See, that it doesn't take long. And I'm going to do that with the rest of them. I'm going to dip them. Put them over in that dry breadcrumbs, you know, let the excess drip off and get them fried up. And when I think that they're all nice and done, I'm going to put them here in this pan. Just don't let your oil get too hot or it's going to get too done. I mean, on the outside and not on the inside. So you got to keep an eye on your oil. Okay, now I'm back down to 334 after I put that second piece in. So try to keep it like at 350 if you can gauge it that way. All right, I'll bring you guys back when I get Michael's sub put together, and I'll be sure to leave the recipe with you all. Thanks so much for watching.
How you doing, YouTube? Welcome to Momma Jo's Kitchen. She thinks I'm hungry today. I am. I mean, if I wasn't a fat kid before, I'm going to be a fat kid after. So this was inspired by Firehouse Subs. They do a Thanksgiving turkey sub there, but they put mayonnaise on it. I ain't eating no mayonnaise. So this sub has whole cranberry sauce, provolone cheese, turkey, stuffing, well, I say stuffing, stovetop chicken or turkey flavored?
Turkey.
Turkey flavored, and leaf lettuce, and I got gravy to dip it in. So I've been sitting here analyzing this and trying to figure out the best way to attack this bad boy. So I'm just going to go in with it just like this. We're going to dip. Oh my. Mmm. Mmm.
Now the gravy's optional, or you could do like turkey broth.
Mmm. Yep. Turkey broth. Wow. Mmm.
Show 'em.
The amount of flavors that's on this sandwich. Wow. The stuffing. I'm going to be very messy by the time I'm done this meal. I'm okay with that. The flavors on this. Wow. I hope Firehouse puts a warning on there for their people that are going to be eating this, because they're going to get a little sloppy. I don't know if they serve theirs with the gravy or not.
I was going to cut it in half, but he didn't want me to cut the sub in half. And I was going to take the turkey cutlets and cut them into smaller pieces for easier eating, but he wanted his cutlet to be whole.
Piece. Wow. That right there. I just got a bite of everything in one shot. Unbelievably good. The turkey, like the crunch of the turkey. You would think with all the breading and the stuffing and everything in this that you wouldn't be able to taste it, but like the crispness on the turkey is amazing. The tartness and sweetness yet of the cranberry sauce offsets the saltiness from like the stuffing. Even the lettuce, which I wouldn't have thought would have been good in the gravy, actually is pretty good in the gravy. Everything just combines on this, and like you get like, just picture being at Thanksgiving and just taking a mouthful of everything at once, two-fisting like some people do at holiday meals. I used to be one of them.
We're almost 3 minutes in.
Good stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the video where Momma Jo makes it. Check out all Momma Jo's videos. Have a good day. Thank you.